What's going on, everyone? It's Sam. Today I'm going to be filming a coffee and chat, and I'm going to be talking about should the tea be an LGBT. So how you guys doing? I hope you're all doing well. If this is the first time you've ever seen me on your screen, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to see more of my face. So this is a series that I started quite a while back, like 3-4 months ago, and then I didn't do another episode. I kind of got bogged down in other ideas. But I really like this idea of this series, so if you've never seen this before, this isn't my normal setup. This is just me sat on the floor with a coffee and a plant, and I just chat about random things. They could be controversial, they could be just really easy light topics. It's just something different, and I am going to be bringing this series back, even though it never really started. So as I said at the beginning of the video, the topic today is going to be should the tea be an LGBT, and my coffee of choice today is a homemade iced coffee. I've got about 2 shots of the Nescafe Dolce Gusto Americano, and then I've just topped it up with ice and milk. So should the tea be an LGBT? Now I did a vote on my Snapchat, and I was kind of shocked by the result. I knew that there was going to be a lot of people saying that they do believe the tea should be an LGBT, but I thought there's going to be a few more people saying no, it shouldn't be, and there was actually only one person. Yeah, I'm not going to release my opinion until the end of this video. I'm just going to go through all the facts, what people have said, why they believe their sides, and then go through my opinion and why I believe my side. So first off, we're going to start with the side of yes, the tea should be an LGBT. Now there's a number of reasons why people say this. The first one being that people believe that because a lot of people who are transgender are also LGB, or of course there's loads of others. That's one thing that I forgot to say. Of course nowadays we're saying things like LGBTQ+, which I completely understand. I just thought to make this a bit easier, I'm not missing those people out, I'm not forgetting about them, of course they're there. But just to make it a little bit easier, I'm just going to say LGBT, but of course those people are still there. A lot of people who are transgender are also lesbian, gay, bisexual, so therefore a lot of people believe because of that the T should be on LGBT. The next one is the understanding between people who are transgender and people who are of a sexuality other than heterosexual. They face prejudice against kind of what the stereotypical norm of that gender should do. So an example of this would be a cisgender male wearing a dress, or a transgender woman wearing like really baggy jeans. There's a lot of sort of prejudice against what gender should wear, which is absolutely crazy. Just because you wear a dress doesn't make you a woman. Like, you can wear whatever you want, I don't care, wear whatever you like. For me, I've always, obviously my channel, there's a lot of fashion stuff on here. I've always enjoyed fashion. It's kind of how I present myself. I just think that there's so much hate towards the way people dress. So I completely get this one. There's a lot of understanding between gay people, transgender people, facing that kind of same prejudice about what people should be able to wear. Next up is coming out. Now a lot of people believe that coming out as transgender and coming out as gay, you kind of face the same struggles. Obviously when you're gay you come out, and in a way, like, you obviously have to come out to friends, family, you get into a relationship, and that's kind of it. Obviously with the trans side you come out and then you kind of face a whole new set of challenges of going through medical transition if you want to, but at the same time there's still that fear of coming out, so there's understanding between those two sets of people. And the final one, which is the one that you hear more than absolutely anything, is we are stronger together. People believe that, you know, we've been together as long as history goes back, kind of we've understood each other's struggles. People will just say, you know, we are stronger together. I do believe that the trans community wouldn't have as much awareness as it does now without the rest of the LGB. That's one thing that I'm very grateful of. I feel like we do owe those people a lot. Just because, well, to say it the same way, we were stronger together in that people, how do I put this? I don't think trans people would be recognised as much if it wasn't for the LGBT. So next up we have the side of no, the T should not be on LGBT. So to start off with, when I was talking before about people that do believe the T should be on there, I said that, you know, a lot of people who are transgender are also of other things apart from heterosexual. Now, a lot of people that say no to this are cisgender people. There's cisgender people out there who are gay, bisexual, pansexual, whatever. So, you would either have to put the C on there and that would just be everybody. So people don't like the fact that actually, at the end of the day, everybody has a sexuality. It's not just transgender people. That's one thing that people would say. The next one, which is quite a big one, is there is so much confusion out there between gender and sexuality. The biggest one being that people think that being trans is sexuality, which is not true whatsoever. I myself am heterosexual, whereas there are loads of trans people out there who are gay, bisexual, whatever. It doesn't matter whether you're trans or cis or anything in between, your sexuality can be anything. Therefore, people feel that by putting the T on the end of this, it adds to the confusion and it sort of doesn't help the situation. Next up, we have the unfortunate amount of hate that does come from the gay community towards trans people. We've seen it before where people have gone to LGBT prides as a transgender person and they haven't been accepted. Of course, this isn't every single gay person out there in the world, but there are a lot of gay people who don't agree with being trans, which I find ridiculous, because two things on that. Number one, you're born trans, you can't help it. And number two, if I was to turn around and say I don't agree with you being gay, there would be an absolute uproar, whereas it's okay for somebody who's gay to say I don't agree with you being trans. The biggest contributor to this, in my opinion, and this might be a bit controversial, is lesbian women, and I feel that this is because they've come out as lesbian and maybe they dress as a boy and they feel fine like that. They think that that's for everyone. I myself, I'm not gay. You don't have to, because you like women and you like to, dress as a boy, it doesn't mean that you're gay. I think there's a lot of confusion within the lesbian community as to what it is to be trans. It's not just liking girls and dressing as a boy. There's a lot more to it than that. And you don't even need to dress as a boy and like girls to be trans. So that's my opinion on that. And finally, the next opinion for no, that you should not be an LGBT, is that if gender identity should be an LGBT, then that means that everybody should be an LGBT, because cisgender is a gender identity. There's not too much more to say on that, I understand that. And that leads me on to my opinion. It's probably going to be a controversial one, but I spoke to a lot of people on Snapchat who didn't agree with my opinion, but they were like, at the end of the day, it's your opinion, just go for it. And I'm that kind of person. I stand up for what I stand up for. If we have different opinions, doesn't mean you have to not get on with that person. I'll still shake your hand if you don't agree with me. I, as a trans man, do not believe that the T should be an LGBT. So the reason that I believe this is for all of the points that I've just made. I'm just going to sort of back them up a bit more. So for me, there are a lot of people out there who say that the T should be an LGBT, because there are a lot of trans people who are LGB. There's a lot of cisgender people who are LGB. It doesn't mean that, we need to have gender identity and sexuality into kind of one acronym. That also leads me on to confusion. As I said, there's so much confusion between gender and sexuality, and we seem to not really be making the point and understanding that the reason this is because we put LGBT together. Gender and sexuality are completely different. Everybody has one of each, so I'm transgender and I'm heterosexual. It doesn't mean that we need to stick them all together, because by putting it all together, as I just said a minute ago, you're actually putting everybody in the world into one acronym. Like, there is literally no point. Next up, to kind of back that one up between sexuality and gender, sexuality is something that is just sort of ingrained in you at birth. Everybody has a different sexuality, whereas the way that I see being transgender, gender dysphoria is a medical condition. I feel like that's something that we miss out. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, if you are diagnosed with gender dysphoria, it's a medical condition. And I think by mixing those two things up, people get the impression that actually being trans is a sexuality, or people believe that actually being gay is something that needs to be diagnosed, because there's just so much confusion. So that is my opinion on it. Feel free to not bite my head off in the comments. Everybody has different opinions, and I'm not going to hate on you because you have a different opinion. We all need to be, grown-ups and adults, and tell me in the comment section down below what your opinion is on this. But like I say, there's no need to be hateful. I probably don't agree with your opinion, but I'm not going to bite your head off for it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. As I said, comment down below your opinion, and please don't kill me for this. Obviously, as I said, I was with the minority on Snapchat, so I am expecting to be completely crowded with people saying, I disagree with you. That's cool. I'm expecting that. Just be cool about it. And as always, remember to subscribe to see more of my face. Oh, and finally, before you go, if you have any suggestions on topics for any video, but more specifically coffee and chats, and one thing I do say as well, tell me what coffee you want to see me drinking. I'm an iced coffee kind of guy. Like, I don't mind hot coffee, but I'd rather you said an iced coffee. So yeah, that's everything. I'll see you guys in another video. All I wanna do is get high,